Hi guys! If you're joining for the first time, I'm so glad you're here. And to those of you who are tuning in again, thank you for your support and being a part of this space. Please remember that these are general messages shared with the intention of offering insight, clarity, and support. Take the messages that resonate and leave the rest behind. I'll always encourage you to trust your own inner wisdom above all. I'm so grateful for your presence, likes, comments, subscribes, and efforts in keeping this space peaceful, loving, and in harmony with the Most High. If you feel called to connect with this message on a deeper level or would like to book a personal reading, you can find that information in the description box below. So let's get into this message. I haven't missed you guys. It's been such a long time. So many things have been pulling me in different directions, but I do have a minute and a little bit of extra energy to expend with you all. So let's see what messages you have for the collective. This is a new deck, so the cards are a little stiff, so bear with me on that. What messages do you have for the collective at this time? Help me to articulate a clear and concise message in order for it to be received in the way that you want it to best be received. Help me to see what it is I need to see to get the message across as clear as possible. And help me to deliver any messages that you deem worthy in order to serve your highest good, for the highest good of humanity with harm to none. What messages do you have for the collective at this time? My pup is also back there chewing on a bone. So if you hear a little bit of background racket, that is what that is. What messages do you have for the collective at this time? What messages do you have for the collective at this time? That's too many. Okay, immediately, I'm sensing, okay, there's something that you're experiencing that you are trying to gain a sense of clarity on, a sense of understanding, right? Because there's something that you're building on, or there's something that you are investing in where you're trying to understand the depth or the circumstance or the potential of where whatever this is that you are investing in is going to take you, right? It's almost like trying to gain a sense of awareness, right? Definitely moving with a sense of pure intention, right? Not wanting to, this is almost like, it's giving like higher knowledge, higher awareness, right? You don't want to move with a sense of just investing in something and not knowing where it's going, right? Whether this be a business, whether this be a new phase, right? Whether this be you moving to a new location, whether this be a new career path you're taking, whether this be a new relationship or family or whatever it is that you are creating or building at this time, right? But it's almost as if like you're trying to find a sense of connection to your path, right? To your journey, right? You're trying to find a sense of purpose, a sense of importance, right? To whatever this is. Like, why has this circumstance presented itself in my life, right? Why has this circumstance? And it's not so much as if like a why, but more so as if like, what is the potential of this, right? Is this a lesson, or is this something that I'm meant to see through a specific cycle within my life, right? Is this something that I'm supposed to see within a specific creation within my life, right? Is this something that I am supposed to see or perceive that I'm supposed to receive from, or is this something that I'm supposed to give to, right? But with the curiosity and the potential here, I'm definitely feeling like there's an equal balance of both, right? This is definitely something that you are meant to give to, but it's also something that you're going to learn from as well, right? Whatever this is, you're seeking clarity. You're seeking a sense of higher knowledge and higher awareness when it comes to this circumstance that you're investing in your life, right? Because it's almost as if like right now in this current moment, you may be feeling as if you are giving to something that you aren't really receiving from, right? It almost feels as if like there is, I don't necessarily want to say a sense of emptiness, but it almost feels as if like nothing you do is enough or is fulfilling enough for this circumstance, right? So it's almost as if like whatever potential you put towards it, you're not necessarily seeing the traction from the potential in which you're trying to create towards this circumstance, right? And it almost makes you feel, I don't want to say stuck, because you don't feel confined to this. You don't feel attached to it. But there is a desire, there is a sense of purpose, there is a sense of curiosity when it comes to its purpose in your life, right? And the fact that you don't feel like stuck, it's more so like you're intrigued, right? Like, I want to know more. I know that this has presented itself in my life, or I know that this pathway has shown itself to me because it's something that I'm supposed to be. It's something that you feel guided towards, right? You feel drawn to it, right? And so that's what's keeping you connected, right? But there also seems as if like you don't necessarily have a clear vision of where it's taking you. And that's where the confusion is coming in, right? Because you're not fully understanding the outcome. And so because you are in this place of you may feel as if you might not be receiving the answers or clarity in which you're seeking regarding this, right? You're kind of just like following a blind path. But because you feel so drawn to this, because you feel so tethered to whatever this is, right? There is a sense of, I guess, obedience in a sense, right? Because it's something that your spirit is calling to. It's something that you're feeling drawn to follow. It's something that you're feeling, again, like intrigued by, right? You're following the calling of your spirit, right? And that, in a sense, is you trusting in your faith. You trusting in knowing that this is something that is worth your while, but also you wanting to know the outcome or the end goal before you even fully step onto the journey or on the pathway. Does that make sense? Right? You're not even fully on the pathway. You're just kind of answering the calling, if that makes sense. Right? Clarify curiosity. I don't necessarily feel a sense of like this circumstance causing confusion in your life, but I am sensing you personally feeling confused about where it's taking you, about where you're being led, right? Clarify curiosity. Ooh, the Four of Wands. Ooh. Okay. Okay. With the High Priestess, this is giving this. The High Priestess is giving the awareness frequency. Okay, so this is almost a question for you about what it is that you truly desire, what it is that you truly want, what it is that you, because whatever this is a reflection of you, right? You have the Four of Wands card, which is a twin card, right? The twin card, which is the mirror energy. It's a reflection, right? Also, the name of this deck is called Soul Mirror. So there's a lot of magnetizing energy here, right? What you put out into the world is what will be returned back to you. And so there's a deeper sense of you really having to be honest with yourself, right? About what it is you're seeking, right? What it is that you're desiring and what it is that makes you feel fulfilled, right? Because in this space, what you give is what you're getting, right? So if you put in inconsistencies, you're going to receive inconsistencies in what it is that you're trying to manifest, right? So for example, say you're trying to move, right? And you know that moving to a new space is what you're truly feeling called to, right? But in your efforts in moving, it's almost as if like you create a sense of self-doubt in your own mind because of a sense of fear that you have when it comes to moving, right? One, partly because this is a new place. You've never really experienced it before. Two, you don't really have the experience because you don't know anybody who has lived there before. So you are unable to kind of receive any type of clarity or guidance on what to expect when you go, right? And also, you have lived in the same place your whole life, right? You've moved the same way. You know that specific town or something. So there's, again, a sense of fear that you create when it comes to moving. Although you feel led to, you feel called, you have a new job and things like that. All of the pieces are in the right place. But because you in the back of your mind are creating this sense of self-doubt, now those things start to manifest in your reality. Now you're having trouble finding movers that will help you move from one state to the other. Right now you are having your start date for your job keeps getting pushed back, right? Subconsciously, not because there's anything wrong, but just because there are small inconveniences that just randomly start happening because you're manifesting that doubt within what it is that you're trying to create based on the self-doubt that's happening in the back of your mind, right? So again, be mindful about what it is that you're creating, because every thought, every intention, every feeling, every emotion, every action that you take is feeding this manifestation. And so if you have a sense of self-doubt, if you have a sense of self-consciousness, or if you have a sense of insecurity, or whatever it may be that kind of creeps up in that shadow aspect of your mind, be very intentional about I guess reversing those manifestations, right? So if you have a sense of self-doubt, kind of give yourself reasons why this would be something good to invest in, if this is something that you are truly feeling led and called to do, right? Because you kind of feeding into the unknown about all of the possibilities that could come forth is what is going to attract those things, right? So when you are dealing with the unknown, know that there are limitless possibilities. And if you create those, if you continuously create those limitless possibilities, those things are going to begin to manifest in your reality. So definitely be careful about that, right? You don't want to create negative habits or opportunities in something that is supposed to bring you newness, something that's supposed to bring you clarity and fulfillment, right? Because you have the Nine of Cups and the Four of Wands. That's a very positive energy, right? But again, it also speaks to your self-reflection, right? So definitely make sure that what it is that you are feeding this is coming from a place of fulfillment and not coming from a place of insecurity, because whatever it is that you put towards this is what is going to be reflected back in this manifestation, right? You're going to receive the fruit within the element in which you plant, right? Give me one card for this Four of Wands to see. Oh, yeah, the Two of Pentacles. Yeah, this is the doubt. I didn't really need to, but I just felt, yeah, the Six of Wands underneath. So again, there is an element of success here. There is an element of positivity. You do have the possibility or the capability to be successful within whatever it is that you're feeling called to or feeling drawn to or your spirit is feeling led to pursue, right? There is 100% happiness. There's 100% peace. There's 100% fulfillment. There's 100% success in this, right? Not only success in which you are creating within yourself, but a success in which other people are getting to watch in awe of your manifestation, right? Other people on the sidelines are watching what it is that you're creating, and they are cheering you on, right? Because again, this is something that you're creating, right? This is something that is different from what you're used to, right? It's not something that looks like where you came from. And that's kind of what has people, what's the word I'm looking for? In shock almost. Because it's like, it's not you, but at the same time, it is, right? It's a new version of you. It's an elevated version of you, right? It's a more mature version of you. It's a more admirable version of you. It's a version of you that inspires other people, right? Because again, people who come from where you are don't always expect you to do better than them. And not better than them in a sense of like growth, better than them in a sense of creating things that don't necessarily look like the opportunities. It's almost like creating opportunities outside of what is given to you, right? And because you're creating this opportunity, again, they're inspired, they're motivated, they're in awe of you, they're cheering you on. But again, it is kind of shocking to see because it's a different version of you outside of what they already know. So clarify potential. And again, that is not your burden to carry. Continue to grow and continue to reach levels that you truly desire. Look, Temperance. This is the alchemy card when it comes to potential. So what you have the ability to create. Creating something from nothing, right? The Three of Swords. Healing. Gaining a sense of patience when it comes to growing and opening up. Look, the Ace of Wands, right? So this is creation energy, right? This is almost as if like you're creating something from nothing. You are coming out of a place of woundedness, right? Because again, remember I was just speaking of like people being shocked that you are creating this opportunity when they didn't see this opportunity available to you in the first place. And now you have kind of received or created this opportunity. It may to them seem out of thin air, but to you, the connection that you have with the Most High, the connection that you have with yourself and with God and with your soul's purpose, soul's mission, with your spirit has guided you on this path to like healing, right? To overcome the things that were meant to hurt you, right? To overcome the places, the people, the things, the experiences in which nobody ever thought that you were going to be able to overcome. So say again, let's use the location example just for continuity, right? You're moving to this new state, but again, like, people around you have known that your family has been in this area for generations, right? And so they never expected this opportunity to present itself for you to move. Not only are you moving to a new location, but you are moving into a beautiful new house, a beautiful new home. You already have made connections, or new connections that will be offered to you through this opportunity, right? You're getting a new position, which is opening up more opportunities. So it's not as if like the opportunity itself is what's inspiring, but it is also the other seeds and the other opportunities that are available to you through this one opportunity. And because your family has been in this one location for generations and they never expected you to be the one to move, again, it's inspiring, it's motivating. You have transformed something that people never thought you were going to be able to overcome, and you have created abundance and wealth from this one leap of faith, right? From this one goal, from this one sense of like consciousness, from this one vision, this one idea, right? One foot in front of the other has led you into a whole new world, right? Where you have created something that you never really thought was going to, again, bring you that sense of safety, bring you that sense of security, right? This is also something that makes you more aware of your gifts. It makes you more aware of the possibilities in which are available to you. It makes you more aware of your ability to create new circumstances when everything else seems stacked against you, right? You are aware of your ability to transform, to transmute, to alchemize, right? To bring a balance and bring a sense of harmony to whatever it is that is brought to, whatever challenge is brought to your forefront, right? It's almost as if like you are very solution oriented. Nothing that comes to your forefront is able to kind of keep you stuck, because when there is no way, when there seems like there's no way, you will create your own path, right? Clarify awareness. Beautiful message. It speaks to your potential. It speaks to your character, right? This is like very much wounded warrior energy, where you're very much a fighter, right? You very much lead and walk by faith and not by sight, right? You're guided by spirit. You're guided by the Most High. You're guided by the knowing and the knowledge of your own potential and capability, right? And also knowing that sometimes opportunities are there to meet you halfway based on the effort in which you put forth, right? The Hanged Man and the King of Wands, very much so again, strength. Again, exactly what I just said. This is making you aware about your ability to create, your ability to kind of make firm decisions, make firm take firm actions that are kind of driven by your passion, kind of driven by your motivation, driven by your strong will, right? Your strong work ethic, right? Because the King of Wands doesn't take no for an answer. He's somebody that is somebody that gets everything that he wants, right? He's the husband to the Queen of Wands, right? Which is somebody who has that ability, who has that charm, who has that spark, where this is like the CEO of a business, right? Building something from the ground up and it becoming like a Fortune 500 when there's nobody else around you who was able to create that, right? But also like you having that perspective, you following that willpower, you following that drive, you following that passion, and you using that as a driving force to kind of give you a sense of perspective about where it is that you're meant to go, right? You using your ability to transmute to kind of build your confidence in what it is that you have the ability to create. So Should we pull 4 cards or should I leave this where it is? Let's pull 4 cards just because. One card for what we can learn as the major lessons surrounding this message. One card surrounding the opportunities we can create surrounding this message. One card for what we can meditate on as the focus of this message. And one card for the new cycles and habits we can innovate to contribute to our growth and expansion surrounding this message. This is a very abundant energy. This speaks to the things that you've overcome. It speaks to who it is that you are growing into and what it is that you are growing from that, right? Very much knowing who you are and not allowing yourself to kind of sit in that imposter syndrome, right? Because again, if you allow that self-doubt, if you allow that imposter syndrome, if you allow those insecurities to creep in, then those things will manifest in what it is that you're trying to create in very small opportunities. And when they start to manifest in small opportunities, if you keep feeding that, those opportunities will continue to grow in larger amounts, right? So definitely be mindful about that. One card for what we can learn is to trust in yourself, trust in what it is that you have the ability to create, trust in knowing that your faith is what is guiding you in the right direction, and that the Most High will never lead you astray, right? You will always receive something from what it is that you are meant to be pursuing, right? Whether that is a lesson, whether that's an opportunity, whether it's an experience, whether it's a connection, a relationship, a new space, right? More opportunity, more growth, right? Wherever it is that you are being led, trust that you are being guided in the right direction, right? Trust yourself, trust your inner voice, trust your knowing, trust your vision, right? Trust your motivation, trust your guidance, trust in your abilities to create, right? One card for the opportunities we can create surrounding this message. Ooh, hold on. The cards are turning in weird ways. One card for the opportunities we can create surrounding this message. Envy and failure. These don't necessarily fit. One card for the opportunities we can create surrounding this message. Honesty and loneliness at the bottom of the deck. So, right, be honest with yourself about where it is that you're truly desiring to go, right? Be honest with yourself about where you feel you're being led and called to, right? Don't let your mind, your heart, and your spirit all need to be in alignment in order for you to create something that is fulfilling to you, right? If your mind and your heart are not in the same place as your spirit, then whatever it is that you're creating is going to be misaligned, right? If your spirit and your mind are aligned, but your heart is not, again, it's going to create a misalignment. All three things need to be in tandem and in alignment with one another in order to create something that is fulfilling, that is strong, and that is manageable and unbreakable, right? So again, be wary of letting outside opinions steer you in the wrong direction to where it is that you're feeling guided to, right? Because again, if your spirit and your heart are in one place and you are receiving information from other people that does not align with that, then it can create a misalignment within your mind that will then lead you on a path of dishonesty, because now you're not moving in a direction that you truthfully feel guided to. I hope that makes sense the way it came through. One card for what we can meditate on as the focus of this message. I trust that you received what you needed to from that message. Happiness. Right, that 9 of Cups. What will make you truly feel fulfilled in what it is that you're trying to create? What is going to feed that sense of fulfillment that you have already received, right? And what it is and the opportunities in which you're trying to grow within, right? Pride, right? That's that strength card, right? So again, having the courage and the strength and the honesty and the trust and the mindfulness to know that You will not be led astray on this path in which you are being guided towards, right? So again, stop letting outside sources kind of trick you out of your spot, right? Don't let people who are doubting you or telling you or trying to feed your fear about moving in this new direction, don't let them take you off of the path in which you're being guided towards. One card for the new cycles and habits in which we can create to contribute to our growth and expansion. So again, meditate on that sense of peace. Meditate on what it is, what it is about this opportunity that makes you feel happy. What is it about this opportunity that brings you that sense of peace? What is it about this opportunity that helps you or feeds your sense of fulfillment, right? That's what you should be focused on. And balance, you can create balance in adversity. So again, learning how to overcome those things that try to deter you from your path, right? But that is the message that I have for you guys. I hope that it resonated. I know that if you made it to the end of this video, you have found something in it that is worthy and valuable to you. Please don't forget to like, hit that subscribe button. Thank you for watching. Have a good one. Bye.